Reddit Martian back with another tip-top video for you. r/AskReddit. What is something you did while blackout drunk that you still to this day cannot believe you did? I got on a stranger's parked motorcycle and pretended like I was riding it, then the owner came up and asked me if I wanted to go for a ride. So we went for a ride around the city. It was fun but could have ended very differently. I was 18 and living with some friends on a farmhouse in the country. As one of the few people in my social group living alone, we tended to throw some solid parties. I woke up one Sunday morning and my shoulders, back, and hands were killing me. I had a few serious blisters on my hands and had no clue where they had come from. I went downstairs, and they had to be 15 or so people passed out all over the living room, dining room, and kitchen. I woke up a friend of mine and asked him why everyone was still here. He groggily tells me that I wouldn't let anyone drive home drunk. So I had chopped down a tree, and it had fallen across the long driveway to the road. I walked about 50 yards down the driveway, and sure enough, I had chopped down a tree somewhere around 1 or 2 AM, and it fell straight across the drive, blocking anyone from going home. I had to walk a few miles down the road to our nearest neighbor and ask him very nicely if he would be willing to bring his tractor over to our place and pull the tree out of the driveway. An hour and a half later, my friends all left in a conga line of cars 10 deep. Interesting method, but honestly it's awesome you wouldn't let people drunk drive. I once shot on a cop car. There was dashcam footage released looking for any info on who it might be and I recognized my hat and sweatshirt. Did you call it an still at large? Apparently I drank a red Gatorade from the fridge and later threw up in the bathtub and my roommates thought I was throwing up blood. Of course no one called 911 lol, instead they decided to wait till the morning and ask bro was that blood. One of the guys in my group of friends was dating a girl. They had been together a while, and the rest of us weren't crazy about her. Maybe because we were all young, early 20s, and he was the first one of us with a serious relationship and so we didn't see him as often. I got ridiculously drunk at a party, and ended up declaring my love for some girl I had just met. Then passing out in the bathroom on the floor with the dogs. I was found at some point, and people were amused at my expense. My friend's girlfriend, rather than mocking me, helped me out. She took me upstairs, gave me some water, and put me to bed. Before passing out again I said something along the lines of "You're really awesome. I don't know why everyone says you're beach." We didn't see our friend much for a while. Eventually things smoothed over. They got married and I was invited, so no permanent damage done. Still, I couldn't believe I said something so stupid. I've also never gotten that drunk again. I told my ex and her mom to suck on these Christmas balls when they were both trying to get me off the floor. Told my then girlfriend, now wife, at her own birthday party at volume in front of a few other friends that we were leaving because I wanna duck. This is way out of character. I'm a real introvert and quiet. Then when she got me home I threw up all over our bed. Woke up in bed with a towel under me and a blanket on top with no idea what had happened, but I knew it must be bad. Weirdly she forgave me really quickly. Threw up on a band in Nashville during a live show. Girlfriend at the time needed to find an ATM so I drunkenly followed her. When she found one, I sat on the concrete against a metal railing. I knew I was going to be sick so I stuck my head through the railing and vomited my heart out. What I didn't realize was that it was actually about a 15-foot drop between me and the concrete, where a band was playing, with an entire audience watching. Punched my friend right in the face. Apparently I said I would. Then he said you won't. So I did. I still can't believe it. For some reason, my friend wanted to show that he could do a lot of squats. We both pulled our pants down next to his fire pit and did a lot of squats. I didn't remember this, so I woke up terrified by how sore I was from bowling before the drinking started. I honestly spent all week having a crisis about this. Is it? I'm getting old and my body can't handle physical activity. Then my friend told me his girlfriend kept teasing him about us doing squats with our pants around our ankles. And I freaked out like a duck. Yes, I'm not getting old yet. I can still do things. I was very surprised one day to receive an email from Drunk Me reminding me to do something important. I had, and still have, absolutely no memory of sending it. But apparently Drunk Me had the presence of mind to know how drunk he was, so he created an email to send to Sober Me 2 weeks later. Drunk Me was very smart to plan ahead this way, and Sober Me appreciated it. Nothing. My friends refused to tell me exactly how my last blackout played out, but they all smile at me whenever I ask. Single-handedly crashing a completely random wedding in a foreign country while my grandparents watched. I just strolled onto their dance floor and ended up dancing with the bride for a while. I have a good one that I oddly enough wish was me. TLDR. Luckiest break for a drunk idiot. A group of friends went to Vegas. I had a ticket but had to cancel last minute for a funeral. One friend, Drunky, was so trashed he could barely stay awake at the blackjack table. The pit boss advised the rest of the group to escort Drunky to his room to avoid a scene. Of course, they oblige him. While walking Drunky along, they let him get too close to a roulette table. He fished a $100 chip out of his pocket and slapped it down on a number like he was playing dominoes. The group is aghast and annoyed. He just basically threw away $100. It hits at 35/1 odds. Aghast becomes wildly excited for Drunky, but that's not good enough for him. Drunky graduates to dumb duck with 3 words. Let it ride. The group is calling him the single biggest ducking retard anyone has ever known. It hits. This is a bit over $120,000 payout. A quick thinking buddy slaps his hand over Drunky's mouth so he can't do it again, and says he's chipping out. The whole group goes into bodyguard status to escort Drunky to the cash cage to get paid out. Then they frog march him straight to his room, put him in bed and set his money on his nightstand. In his drunken stupor he loudly insists, "I don't even ducking want the money. You'll just take it." The group is tempted, but fortunately for Drunky, they do care about him. After some back and forth they finally settle with, "Look, we will take 1K each. If, in the morning, you still don't want it, we will accept then." The rest of the group ducked off to party and Drunky slept it off. Next morning Drunky pounded on Quick Thinker's door freaking the duck out. "OMG, I think I robbed somebody last night, man. There's a huge pile of cash on my nightstand and I don't know what happened. We gotta get the duck out of here." After being told what really happened, he calmed down, repaid everyone's airfare and hotel costs and had a blast for the rest of his 4-day 3-night stay. Edit, I remembered the numbers wrong. Previously 32/1. Corrected to 35/1. Also thanks for Silver Kind Stranger. Woke my husband up by eating his butt a few hours before he had to work an overnight. He forgave me and lovingly refers to it as the tequila story when telling it to all of our friends. It was not on purpose. Once at a bar I knocked a beer bottle over. It hit the floor and only the bottom came out. A perfect circle spinning like a coin. The rest of the bottle was intact. On the bottom. I then called my mate and told him, "Watch this," and tried to repeat the featuring. I threw a second bottle on the floor and obliterated it, and we both got kicked out. I am female. My wife caught me peeing in the cat's litter box. She tried to get me to stop and I yelled at her like she was being ridiculous. I had a few drinks and went to bed. Woke up the next morning and the wife was making me a huge breakfast and telling me how brave I was to capture and take a rattlesnake from our living room and release it in the wash behind our house. Yeah, I have a jigsaw puzzle memory of that. Got onto the stage at a dive strip club and did the helicopter. My buddy said I got cheered on by all the hunters until I pulled it out and did the helicopter. Trashed a hotel room in New Mexico. broke the tank on the back of the toilet, flooding the bathroom, and somehow pulled a lamp out of the wall, shocking myself. I was convinced someone had broken into my room and tried to kill me. IGTFO the next day, really embarrassed about what had happened. Paid $500 in damages, so they did not press charges. Had a threesome I don't remember. Do you know what you are? That's right, you're a champ. Thanks for watching. Like and share if you enjoyed, don't forget the bell. Subscribe for more videos. See you soon, Martians.